If you're still here, thanks for being with me during this medical recovery project of mine, Easy Expert Challenges, an educational series about brute forcing solutions to the expert challenges of Monster Train. I'm JC Locke, and today is a very special episode. Well, to be perfectly accurate, it's the first of 3 very special episodes where I brute force optimize the front end of one of my least favorite challenges, the hero we need. Due to the unique premise and design philosophy of this challenge, it is impossible to completely optimize the front end, and because of this, I actually did 3 different runs of it based on this variable premise. So, congratulations, you're getting a 3-way. It is very bizarre to me that this challenge came out in the DLC because its design philosophy to me just screams go nuts with monstrous penumbra or burn bright rector in the base game. Penumbra in particular seems very capable thanks to trample, right up until the Divinity fight. Unfortunately, the order of magnitude of enemy HP on the floor when comparing Seraph to Divinity is practically double. This presents a problem for even the most optimized monstrous Penumbra build. You absolutely must find Furnace Tap, or you lose. I did a run of this in the hospital, and that will be the next episode in this series, episode 7B. Now, the approach I have seen most utilized for success in this challenge is to completely ignore the advantage of the challenge and do your best to minimize the disadvantage. I've seen a lot of Conduit Tethys to overcome the +1 spell cost disadvantage, and a bit of Shardtail Queen to play imps instead of spells. But neither champion really benefits from the advantage of the 50% attack and hit point increase. That's not how I wanted to approach this challenge for the series. I did something very similar for my own first clear, and it was not a pleasant experience, but I'm going to run it again, and the specifics of that I will leave as a surprise for those who watch episode 7C. I am a much better player now than I was then. And for my official submission in this YouTube series, episode 7A, I wanted to stay true to what I perceive to be the design intent to supercharge a champion while overcoming the advantage of costly spells. My solution involves utilizing Cultivating Sentient with default Hellhorn to create a classic tank and spank scenario with a single carry unit, taking advantage of the challenge to create a legendary HP pool. The first thing you need is a high-cost healing spell as your uncommon, either Awake or Focused Growth. I prefer Awake for the sustainability, but for the purpose of your sanity, take whichever one you get and move on. That's what I did. I took Focused Growth. Focused Growth has less sustainability, but it lets us draw a full hand, thanks to +1 draw from Sentient, and the artifact we're seeking to minimize the damage of +1 spell cost, or, to be perfectly frank, ignore it completely. Volatile Gauge. Volatile Gauge lets us ignore draw and take Ember for both bosses, as well as take advantage of high-quality, high-cost Hellhorned and Awoken spells. If you haven't seen my previous video and are completely unfamiliar with playing Volatile Gauge, please check out that video, episode 6, Pure Chance, for some specifics of playing Monster Train under the quirkiness of Volatile Gauge. If you wanted a practically guaranteed victory, the most optimized solution is to take on 15 shards in Ring 1 to acquire both Volatile Gauge and Split Anvil, which will allow you to play pretty much your entire hand every turn. However, with the amount of rerolls likely necessary to meet this probability, you might as well just play the challenge until you get lucky and high roll your brains out. As with the RNG involved in the reroll process, your results may vary, but for me, this front-loaded optimization required a lot of rerolling to get to work. 68 minutes worth of rerolling. For me, this was due to Volatile Gauge showing up rarely, and when it did, Cultivating Sentient did not. So it's probably just some epically bad luck, but be prepared for that. So, my advice, just grab the good healing spell, Volatile Gauge, and Cultivating Sentient, and accept that the early game will be a little bit dicey, but your mid to late game, you should feel invincible. Disclaimers and reminders time. I am not a professional streamer by any possible definition of the term, and I do not possess the experience or equipment necessary to create a recording of professional quality, so please temper your expectations accordingly. On that note, I am hearing impaired, and when I record, I use corrective hearing aids, so any constructive and polite criticism you may provide about my audio levels will be quite welcome in the comments. I will definitely read them all and make adjustments as best I can for future content. I am also still in physical recovery and actually got a little bit of bad news in that regard today. I'm probably returning to the hospital for a little while, and this series is likely to go on hiatus for a little bit, but that will allow me time to generate more content and be ready to upload once I get home and recover once again. This physical recovery also includes my vocal instrument, which is not 100%. It sounds good now, but will likely deteriorate over the course of this video. So thank you for sticking with me while I make my physical recovery. And finally, I play on Nintendo Switch with all the abnormalities that entails. You're definitely going to see a little bit of that in this run, but overall, what I've noticed while recording these videos is that it does slow down the runtime of battles. Not significantly, but over time it builds up to a significant degree. So runtime on these videos is probably going to run a little long, and for that, I will include chapters on every one of these videos so that you can skip ahead and backwards as needed, and I will feel no offense if you choose to do so. So, welcome once again to this series, part 1 of 3 of The Hero We Need. And now, on to episode A, The Optimal Solution. So what we got in our opening rerolls is pretty good. I chose Focus Growth because it showed up. I like Vine Grasp as a self-ping for our Revenge Cultivating unit. A Hidden Passage we are not going to be able to use to overstack floors because that will take Cultivate triggers away from our carry unit, which is very bad. But we can in the beginning as we spread out our Cultivate triggers amongst Trained Stewards, so that's definitely not bad. And we could always use Hidden Passage offensively, so it's not going to be a dead draw for us, but it's going to lose a great deal of value as the run goes on, and will probably be the last thing we purge. Just taking a quick look at the bosses up here. Talos the Architect does not phase me because the unit she's going to daze is never actually going to hit back, so that's a free boss. Archus, we can completely ignore Hellbone Harvest because that's never going to happen. The rally trigger is pretty much only going to determine where we set up beginning, which is probably going to be at the bottom because he is going to have some degree of Scourge generating units down there, and by the time we hit him, our Embered situation is not going to be stable enough to deal with them. So we have to set up bottom. It should not be a problem because we can scale quickly down there, and Archus is basically another free boss. Now, Seraph the Temperate scares the hell out of me. This means that we have to be conservative with our shards. We don't want to go to Shard Town on this run because we will lose to Seraph. Seraph is actually going to be harder than Divinity because we're dealing with Sap Seraph. But so long as we can set up top floor, which we should be able to against Temperate, then Seraph should definitely be conquerable, but we definitely have to play smart there. All right. Let's show you what I got. There's the Cultivating Sentient. We did not get Volatile Gauge here, but we got something pretty amazing. We got Improved Firebox, which will actually allow us to play most, if not all, of our opening hand, which is at this point going to be 8 cards, and that is incredible. So we take Improved Firebox, we clasp our hands and pray to any god that might listen that Volatile Gauge is here, and it was. So I'm very happy with this start. We are very powerful right now. Now, we just took on 15 shards, so we still have to exercise caution, but I feel very confident here, and I'm even going to take on this challenge. This is a little bit scary with Spikes 3, but we can adjust our tactics somewhat and take this on. Yeah, I have an Awoken banner across from Merchant of Steel, so I definitely want as much money as I can get right now. We'll take this on. Now, Forge Disciples means that we are going to take some pyre damage, and that damage may be somewhat significant, but I still feel confident taking this on. The main thing we're going to have to do is we're not going to be able to self-ping as much as we like, which means that the boss is probably going to get 1, maybe 2 shots on us in the pyre. So I am prepared to take as much as 30 pyre damage here, I think, because after this we're going to be quite strong. We'll actually have a unit we can use properly, and we should be able to take on further challenges as needed. And the adjustment we make is that we do no self-pings, and we spend our damage spells getting rid of healers and 9/2s. And if we do that, we should have more than enough gas in the tank to beat this challenge. Let's do it. We go up top floor. We put him down in hopes of elevatoring him up later. We are going to torch the healer now, while we're certain we can. I should have vine grasped him. Oh well, not a big deal. So self-ping, restore, get a trigger on. We only have 2 to play here because of the Ember Drain. We're getting the money, so that's good. And at this point, we have things to do and not much mana to do it with. I think the play here is to go ahead and elevator him up. How much damage are we going to do? We're going to do 11 without Cultivate triggers. And with enough Cultivate triggers, we might be able to get him down to 20. Maybe. It's going to be dicey. Yeah, as much... because we're definitely going to let him go. There's not much we can do about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this opportunity to put as much damage into him as I can, since I've already killed his healer. And that, I feel, is optimal for turn 2. That puts him down to 20 exactly. And I love that. So, let's take the opportunity to get rid of Mr. 9/2. Oh, well, I just screwed that up, didn't I? But it's all good. I forgot it pulled him to the front. I'm used to grasping myself up here, so and he's gonna heal back to full because we didn't kill his healer, which is the optimal thing we would have done had I not misplayed that like a scrub. All right. Oh, we only got him down to 30. My math is bad. Oops. So yeah, we have totally scrubbed up this play here. We're gonna take a lot more damage than we had any need to. In fact, we're going to take 10 more, it looks like. Kill the healer to make sure. We're not going to be able to elevator up a train steward, which is unfortunate, but fine. So, for now, we just put some heal into our tank. Seems good. Alright, we're down to 20. This is as low as I wanted to go. So, at this point, I have to eat this weight of contrition, I think. Endless is always going to look scary for the sheer fact that right now we look weak, but Endless is going to generate a lot of Cultivate triggers for us. So, how many times are you going to hit me before I die at current status? If I can get back up to full, you're going to hit me 6 times. Which is good for 6 damage. So 13 plus 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 93 damage. God, that's not even close to enough. So what we do here is we're going to eat this weight of contrition. We are going to elevator up the healer, kill him now. And we are just going to get as many... No, it's not worth it. We're going to get one... No, we're not going to get a cultivate trigger here because I'm not going to attack into him. So, yeah, let's go ahead and cultivate here. Have I been too aggressive? Will I die for it? Let's find out. No, we have the X. Okay, I have done exactly what I need to do at this point. So let's get rid of the weight of contrition. Let's figure out what I managed to do right. I still don't know what I managed to do right, so let's slow down and find out. How do I get enough damage in? I thought my math was good, but it wasn't. Okay. At this point, I am prepared because I have been so aggressive, and I'm used to being so aggressive. You may not want to be as aggressive as I have been here. I'm willing to go down to 10 pyre health, I think, in this run. Technically speaking, this right here is why I'm not really interested. One of the reasons I'm not interested in tournament and league play, because 3 reasons. 1, I'm scrubby. 2, I play on Switch, and I can't run mods or anything like that, so it's really, and I don't really stream, so I don't really qualify. But more importantly, I am an old school card player. I learned to count in my youth playing blackjack and poker, literally, and I'm a member of the NES generation, and have been playing collectible card games since I got into Magic the Gathering in 1996. So for me, life is always a resource, and I simply cannot play without trading life for other benefits, and that's one of the reasons I'm so aggressive in these type of games. Quick aside from my little old man rant here, of all of these, they all look good. In the context of Volatile Seed specifically, Seal Enhancer is a little bit less good because it tends to become overcosted for what it does. Glimmer, at least here, is an early game heal and protection plan. It's going to, depending on how we do our scaling, it's either going to become amazing later, or it's going to steal our kills and hits and whatever, and it's going to become a dead weight until we purge it. But of the stuff we have here, Glimmer, I think, is the play. Hornbreak. You are a fascinating double self-ping. I think 5 damage, especially in the early... 10 damage, excuse me, in the early game, is just a little bit more, however, than I'm willing to take on for that kind of service. So it's not Hornbreak here. Fledgling is interesting. It gives us an early game scaling option we don't currently possess outside of Cultivate, but the problem with that is that it's a unit, and we're going to have very little space for it, and having that means not elevatoring up train stewards in the meantime. So I don't think it's fledgling up. I don't think it's anything here. So for me, I cannot play without life being a resource, and that's one of the reasons I'm kind of so bad at these games, because I am just that aggressive, and I don't really know how to be. So that doesn't really fit in with tournament and league rules. So I don't think you'll ever see me in a Monster Train tournament. As much as I love this game, I love watching the leagues and tournaments, and will continue to do so as long as the community has them. But they are simply not for me, I'm afraid. Now, here, we know where we're going. We're swinging left. Probably doesn't help my run time that I keep going into old man rants here, but I gotta be me. Now, speaking of I gotta be me, I understand and appreciate that you may at this point be tired of seeing me play sweepers, but this time around it's a little bit different. One, it's not my tried and true sweeper, it's Husk Hermit. Two, these are the only units that I have right now, and I need at least one unit for the short term to effectively utilize Cultivate. So I'm taking the Husk Hermit here. I should have looked in the steel shop first, and that's my mistake. I got distracted by my old man rant. So we take Husk Hermit here at least temporarily, and depending on what is in this shop, may or may not be my forever unit. And it's multi-strike. So, hello, Forever Sweeper. Now, this sweeper run is going to be a little bit different than the ones that I've shown you before because I absolutely do not want quick here. Okay, I got to deliberate this for a second. While I'm doing that, I'll explain why I don't want quick. Quick units kill units that don't slam their face on my tank and give me cultivate triggers. So, quick, absolutely out of the question here. 30 shards going into Ring 2, but there are so many artifacts here that blow this run open that even with 17 pyre health, I can just not take a trial here, and yeah, I have to look. And I am rewarded greatly for my aggression. I get Split Anvil, and now I get to show you the full firepower of a fully armed and operational gauge and anvil here. So that's actually real good. Let me go a quick look at Ring 3. I should have looked at the full map when I looked at the bosses, but I didn't. For that, I apologize. I'm gonna have infusion opportunities all the way to. For a while. There's a lot. There's temple after temple after temple. So, next turn, I'm not spending money regardless. I'm probably, even though I really depend, if I go down to single digits on the pyre, even I swing right. I take the pyre remains. I find something worthy to duplicate. If I don't, then I'm probably going to swing left. Check out that whole Hellhorn banner. There's a lot of good hits there. And of course, look for another artifact because once again, there's just so many good ones. So since I'm doing that, I'm going to go back to the Merchant of Steel. And I'm gonna make use of a single purge, get rid of a Train Steward. That slightly improves our chances and odds here. +4. Clergyman, Hasty Boy. How badly do I want to see a unit draft here? I already have one good unit. All I need is an infusion. I'm seeing two possibilities. The Hellhorn banner and... Who are you again? Oh yeah, Daze Talus, who I'm not at all afraid of. So I think here, even though we have a ridiculous HP pool, I would take this only if there were big, tanky, zero attack tank units that I wanted to attack me. I don't see that here, and I don't have enough game knowledge to properly assess if they're going to show up. So we neglect to take that option here. I do not believe the reward sufficient to the risk. Is there anything coming up that's going to require me to adjust my tactics? And there is. I think I am going to put one of my Vine Grasps here into Hasty Boy. Give me one more turn to self-ping and heal up top. And on that note, ping, ping, heal, heal. Collector. Oh, man. So I only have 2 to play this turn, and I think that 2... is going to be me being greedy and slowing down Hasty Boy again. I wish I could be a little more aggressive here, but I have already been very, very aggressive in this run, and that's going to help a little bit. Unfortunately, I kind of got the shaft with Volatile Gauge this turn, which is fine, because Volatile Gauge has been very good to me so far. I'm going to take 16 here. I'm going to have 2 turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Trained Stewards down here to harass and hopefully damage the boss a little bit. I'm going to put Focus Growth up here to draw a full hand next turn. Thankfully, these are weak multi-strikers, so that's a lot of Cultivate triggers, and I'm pleased about that. First things first, Hasty Boy dies. Two pings, expensive heals. I have a restore and a redraw coming up. Do I dare self-ping? Yes and no. I'm going to go ahead and take out the 5-1. That way the boss at least gets some damage pumped into him. Not much, but some. And I think I actually kill that 5-1. He offers me only 1 Cultivate trigger, almost half the damage I'm taking, and that's fine. I still got 2 more turns, technically, of prep casting before the boss. Man, another kind of bad draw with that. How far down are we? So yeah, here's what I said about the Nintendo Switch interface. Yeah, a lot of times the card simply gets in the way because it lifts so high, and I can't really see if I'm going to actually heal or not. So at 40, I take 3 shots from you before I die. At 42, I take 40 shots. So the optimal play here is a pair of self-pings. Oh, okay. No, it's not. Not really. I'm not going to cultivate my multi-striker, so let's heal up that damage real quick. Put a torch in him and move on. Alright. Like I said, every single... I'm going to go ahead and heal anyway, because I want to gauge my power a little bit here. Let's play this out. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I feel confident about my power level at this point, at this level of shards. Depending on what I see, I may actually go up to 65 next ring, so let's see what I see. And he did. Like I said, every Endless is going to look scary, or every Relentless is going to look scary until he shows up. Now, I do like Steel Enhancer. Now that the variables have changed, and I have Gauge and Anvil, Enhancer becomes a lot more valuable because I'm almost guaranteed to play it every time like I would outside of Volatile Gauge. And I don't, because of that same condition, the fact that I already have 2 Vine Grasps, and Sting is just garbage in Volatile Gauge. We take the Steel Enhancer here. I like that. Vent is interesting under these circumstances. But I just plain don't like it here, and this is personal preference. This is where we're at, where my deck is at right now. Vent is not worth card 25 to me at this time, especially since I don't know if I'm going to have what my primary scaling option is going to be outside Cultivate. And Glimmer has the same issue in that it'll still kill if I need slays and hits. So I'm going to go ahead and skip here. All right, Ring 3, the Hellhorn Banner and the Artifact. All right, let's get all the information that we can before choosing this unit. Look in the Artifact. So, this gives us options. Pyrostone Housing is my first choice, but Drop Cage is really good. It gives us a good reason to keep our hidden passages and keep using them offensively. I'm less inclined to do that without having seen the unit, but I wanted to see this first. Where are we going? How many more steel shops am I going to see that's going to justify 2 more picks? Those picks being Multi-Strike and or Fat Stone. It's gonna happen on Ring 4. In the event that I don't see an infusion I like before then, gives me yet one final chance. And I definitely want removals, so Steel is happening next ring. Steel cannot happen on Ring 5. Steel is once again opposite the removals, so Steel's going to happen 6. Steel's going to happen 7 because that's where once again my value is, more removals. And then it's not happening on 8. So we're gonna see Steel enough times that Pyrostone Housing becomes very, very promising even outside the good promise of Drop Cage. So it's Pyrostone Housing here. Let's see the Caverns next. Yes, absolutely. With 8 card draw every turn, we take this. The only issue is right now we have Ember issues, and we are not necessarily going to be able to actually play these Vengeful Shards, so it represents a danger for us as far as our 17 Pyre health. But this gives us +2 Ember every turn, so that's going to be mitigated somewhat. And then later on, once our Ember situation is stable, we can just purge them out and just take the +1 we get just from our dead weights alone. So yes, we take the protrusion. Protrusion. Such a great word. I almost never get to use it. Let's peek in the temple. Likely not going to matter. That +30 magic power, I would love to stick it in. I'd love to stick it in focused growth here. But now is not the time. If we don't make the infusion, actually, then maybe now's the time. I've been aggressive so far, so I might as well continue to be aggressive. If we take the infusion now, absolutely not. I don't really see anything I want intrinsic just yet. Alright, survey says... Nope, we do not have our infusion here. We skip. Which means we go ahead and take this plus 30. Because I like big heals, and I just simply cannot lie. Bring it on, Talos. I am not afraid of you. Come to my house. Come to my hood. You bring the red dots. Yeah, you shoot up the place. I don't care. I got bulletproof everything. Oops. Ah, freaking switch controls. Alright, I'm going to send you here to die. Separate you from your squad. Press me a Y button. That's another thing. When you're self-pinging, it also slows down the game significantly. So now that we've played out turn 1, we have to play out turn 2 methodically. We need to look at what our highest cost spell is and play it. And this time around, we're only going to get one, because I do want to get rid of this Vengeful Shard. So, our best 2-cost spell here, I believe, is Steel Enhancer, which we kill everything here. So, I'm going to go ahead and put it into my champion here. I'm going to play out this Vengeful Shard. Gonna do a little bit of self-pinging here. And I think I'm going to elevator split another one. Give me a chance to use some healing next turn. I should be due for several restores. We're going to have to let a Vengeful Shard go. That's fine. It's 1 damage. And I do have healing coming up, but it's in 2 rings. Technically, I have healing coming up this ring when I just wipe that stupid smirk off of Talos' face there. Alright, so we play our 3. That makes all but our units here free. I only have the 2 restores, so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and put that 9-5 right into Torch Wrecking range. I'm going to utilize a self-ping here. Dang it! Switch controls. Stop that. Take the 1 pyre damage. Clog up probably this next draw. Yep. We have a 3. But I did not draw my big heal, and I'm only taking 29 here. So I can justify the self pings here. Everything's free. I get to play out my Vengeful Shard. Oh, hold on. I should be the order of operations. First you self-ping, then you heal. I don't think it mattered because I've already taken on damage, but that's the order of operations every time. Hey, you lived? Did I miss something? Oh well. So long as I stay double digits, that's fine. Unfortunately, we got unlucky again on the Vengeful Shard. So at this point, I think I'm going to prioritize healing. I'm still going to self-ping, don't get me wrong. But I'm going to prioritize healing and get this restore in. Which means I can't get the torch in, but that's fine. No, that was the wrong torch. Sorry. I'm concerned you're only taking 32, so that's another, what, 2 pyre damage? All I can do is all I can do, honestly. And I'm not gonna glimmer and miss all of those cultivate triggers, so I'm gonna do how I do. I'm going to that's the problem. I'm still low enough where I am out HPing him. Because I'm taking on so much damage, because I've been so aggressive. Okay, so now that I understand what's going on, let's start problem solving. I'm really glad now I put that plus 30 in. Really glad. So we're gonna cultivate ourselves one more time, and then we are going to heal up. So all these cultivate triggers will go where they're supposed to go. And since I have the 2 mana to spare, I'll send him to his death down here. Now, I might have been a little bit hasty given the amount of scaling that I've accomplished, because I couldn't keep her health high enough, and I'm probably going to call her. But, worst case scenario, I reset, I play smartly, I don't make switch controller mistakes, and should be good to go. Alright, I can play 2 of my 2s. I'm not going to play that 2, so it's going to be Restore, Restore, Vengeful Shard. Let's get rid of Vengeful Shard now. Let's use the first Restore now. Am I going to ping myself? I'm not going to ping myself nearly enough to stop him from hitting my pyre for 4, am I? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the score, kids. We're going down to single digits. Such is the price of aggression. But it's a price that I am willing to accept. Because in the end, that's me. If I could somehow pull Hasty Boy up front without killing him, get another trigger, that would be ace, but I can't. I could get him up to 71. I can't do better, so you know what we're going to do. Just a matter of doing it. Alright, bring it on, game. 7 pyre health. I am not pressed. 6 pyre health. I'm a little pressed. Oh, boy. My 3 here is not going to be focus growth. I can't justify focus growth up front. So it's going to be Steel Enhancer. Vine Grasp. Restore. 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 6. We have the X. I want to gauge my power level when I'm playing like a scrub, so let's see for science. I am going to... My 3 is going to be a torch. I'm going to passage you up because you're not going to provide me any cultivate triggers. We're taking 34 on the boss, killing Talos. Yeah. Even when I'm making mistakes, even when I'm bringing my Pyre to 6 HP with being overly aggressive, this build is that optimized, and we have hit so many good notes here, so many high rolls that that just empowers me to be even more and more aggressive. So my advice to you is run my builds and play better than me, and you will never have problems. I'm sorry, run my front loading. These are not my builds. Let's see what we got. Cycle of Life is exactly what I've been waiting for. Now, the thing about Cycle of Life is I kind of want to put a permafrost on it as soon as I can find one. Because I definitely want spikes. This card is going to be amazing as the run progresses, but in the early game, it's going to steal cultivate triggers, so we need to be cautious about how we play it, and we have found our infusion, ladies and gentlemen. So, bad news. Alpha Fiend is going to mean that it's going to cut off Fat Stone as an option right after we just took Pyrestone Housing. So, that means that we will need to find a space solution before we take Fat Stone. But that strike +5 on a sweeper is god tier scaling. So it's definitely Alpha Fiend here. We take the infusion as soon as we get, and even with this new information, we really cannot take Light of Seraph here. We really need Ember. Ember is the key to truly abusing the Volatile Gauge Split Anvil combo. Now, this is going to require some thought, because 36 fire health, I'm a little more risk averse right now than I generally am. But I absolutely want these removals. So let's do our peeking. Quick, okay. We don't want that. Nope, neither of these are better at use than Alpha Fiend. I had to look, because when I run hollows, I'll run them as hollows generally. So I'm not really familiar with their infusions off the top of my head. We are going all in on cultivating. This is easy information here. I would love that -2 on my focused growth. Love that. But we're taking the infusion now. Making sure, what else am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm making purges, and that's easy. So let's make the infusion now. That is going to bring us up to 60. Given how much damage, I'm sorry. Let me put this in card builder old man terms. Only having 35 pyre health to use as a resource, I'm somewhat more risk averse than I generally am, and I'm not willing to take on more than 60 shards right now for it. It's nice, it's not game breaking. Were it game breaking, I would definitely take it, because that means I'm afraid of nothing anymore. But yes, the last couple of rings have put a little bit of fear into my heart, and if there's one thing I have learned from my extensive experience under medical treatment, is that you listen to your heart. I think this warrants a reroll. We'll see what we get. It definitely warranted a reroll. That's multi-strike 2. I have exactly 90 here. Which way am I swinging next? How badly do I want those pyre remains, the artifact, and the Hellvent? I don't really have anything right now that I'm in love with duping, I don't think. That's not the button to see my deck. Cycle of Life, maybe. Yep, Cycle of Life, maybe. It's that good. Okay. So, what are the odds of me swinging left next ring? Pretty good, actually. I like money. I want to see a magic shop because I'm looking for permafrost. And is there anything else I'm looking for? -1s aren't really that valuable, usually, in the context of volatile gauge. Some magic power on my restores would be nice. So yeah, I'm swinging left. I'm making the call right now. I'm swinging left, which means that I want to save my money. And is there anything in my deck? Well, yeah, there's the last train steward. I think he can stick around though, because I'm likely not taking on this challenge here at 70 shards. 70 shards, and I'm still 2 away from Archus. Yeah, I mean, there comes a point where aggression must make way for logic and reason. And, oh boy. Oh boy. This trial. I am not afraid of you, party boy, in any measure of the word. I am not afraid of you, because you do not damage my power. I don't know what you look like sharded up, though. If you gain damage, I'm a little bit concerned about you. But playing top floor, which I have no reason not to do, I'm certainly not afraid of you. So, except for him, but including sharded up him probably, I have to kill everything. I have 2 turns to scale on top floor. I play everything in my hand on turn. I play 8 cards on turn 1. I play 6 or 7 cards on ring 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 or 7 cards on ring 2 probably. I am confident enough in my scaling that, yes, there's enough artifacts that just blow this open that I am gonna take this trial. This may be where I finally learn the lesson of Icarus. Maybe. But we're doing it. Hoo boy. Not a wonderful opening hand for us. Yep, this may be it. This may be it, ladies and gentlemen. But I have gotten through my very rough life without... Oh, hold on. I actually need to play a card down here, because I'm actually counting a whole lot of 3s here. So I'm not going to be able to play anything. Not going to be able to play everything, excuse me. I'm also feeling a lot better now that we're up to 120 base health. That's another thing. So I shouldn't have any more interruptions in my... What I'm going to do is ignore Glimmer this time. I am going to scoot you up and separate you so I can kill you off before Mr. 70 Health shows up with luck. Do my self-ping and draw a full complement of 10 cards next turn. See a 3, play a 3. See a Scourge, play a Scourge. Everything else is elementary. Let's scooter you up for money. Good for you. You fought in Armageddon. And you're going to die on my train. Probably. Sorry about that. I'm actually going to stop recording for a second. I'll be right back. I'm back with a question, actually, for any fellow YouTube recorders who might be watching. How do you handle the drinking of water mid-run, particularly those of you who record the entire run in one take? That is a skill I would like to pick up, and advice in that regard would be greatly appreciated. Okay, let me look at what we got going on. Okay. We're not going to be able to play all our 3s, but we do want to see a 3 play a 3. Am I looking at any spikes or anything like that coming up? I do not. And I still don't know what a sharded up clip defender looks like. There's a fair amount of damage incoming, so that's a thing we should keep in mind. My 3 is going to be Steel Enhancer. Then Vengeful Shard. I am at this point ready to put spikes on my cultivating unit. Pew, pew. Oh, come on. If anyone's going to shard up, why wouldn't it be you? Alright, I can only play one of my 3s. I don't really feel the need to elevator anybody up. So, my 3 is going to be a torch. I'm going to take some fair amount of damage here, but I have a focus growth. So, it's honestly fine. Yep. So yeah, that water question midstream, definitely of value to me. Do you mute the microphone? Is there some other wizardry you employ? Or do you just not care and drink your water and if your audience hears you, they hear you? My 3 is Restore here. And, as fortune smiles, my other 3 is killing off a train steward. I have nobody to elevate her up, so let's not play that. And I can glimmer without killing anybody up here, so I do that. Get a little bit more healing into my sentient. Oh, party boy, you don't even scare me right now, and I got 2 turns before I see you. Okay. That is unfortunate. My 3 is focus growth right in the beginning, but no, it's not. Yeah, it is. I'm already going to take 2 from the Vengeful Shard, so... I don't know, 2 damage to focus growth at the end of how many self-pings? 1, 2, 3. And I'm already down low. That's value. I will happily take my 2 pyre damage to make that happen, to play focus growth last. So my 3 is Restore. Now be very careful here not to misclick a thing. And now we play focus growth at the end. Heal up real good. Not to full, but good. Take our beltings. Why didn't I elevator up the tank when I had the chance? I wasn't thinking. Okay, we are not doing that again. We are getting rid of this. So our 3 is Steel Enhancer. Maybe? Yes. And then we play the Vengeful Shard now. Get rid of it. Before I do this, how much healing am I due for my next 9 cards? Potentially 2, 4, 6. But focus growth is one of the options. Glimmer, technically. I don't think 4 damage makes much of a difference here. So... And we have plenty of regen, so let's... Okay, we do not have a 3, but we get to play 3 2s. First things first, I mean, we got the X, but I still want to see how this plays out, because I need to gauge my strength coming up and how many shards I can take on if I see something good enough before hitting Archus. So, I think smart play here, if I was unsure about the boss, is not self-ping. It's getting as much regen on as possible. So we play the 2 restore, we ignore the 2 torch, we get our 1 self-ping on, and we heal, heal, heal. Up to full. And this looks very strong to me. I'd be willing to go up to 85 if it presented itself. Cursed Vine's not one of the artifacts I wanted to see for taking on this trial, but it's worth more than 25 to me because on turns where I don't draw my big heal, it allows me to draw a 9th card. It allows me a 9th card, which happens to be a self-ping. So that is value to me. I don't have space to try and fit you on there, so you're a no-go. I don't want stings in my deck at all, and I definitely don't want to move anybody off top floor. So this is a skip. Pyro Chomper is just funny, but I'm not running imps. I skip here. Once again, I don't have the floor space. Yes, alright. Definitely swinging left here. Trying to be sneaky with my water. Didn't accomplish it. Alright, money. Let's peek at everything. Intrinsic in the temple. Good to know. -2 in the temple. Good to know. So depending on what I see... Intrinsic might be in the magic shop, and Intrinsic spell might be super value, but otherwise I'm taking this, and I know exactly where I'm sticking it. Let's peek in the magic shop. That's a permafrost. That's what I've been looking for. That is not where I'm playing my 2, because the interaction with permafrost and Volatile Gauge is actually really cool, and if you're unfamiliar with it, you're going to get to see it. So let's peek in the caverns. You never know what you're going to get. Case in point, the ultra rare for me, build a card. So let us make the most of this rare opportunity. Oh, okay. I have this opportunity so frequently, I don't know exactly how much of anything I get, except for the buff effect, which is what I almost always choose, and I know that's +10. So that tells me that damage is probably going to be 20 or 30, healing is probably going to be 20. 20 is what I would consider a medium heal. I can make it a big heal. So, sure. Heal is going to be going onto my Sentient, so... a pull effect is real nice in the event I somehow get knocked back. I think in this game only knockback towels can do it, but I'm not 100% sure. I am, however, very scrubby and will more than likely require this just because I put my Sentient in the wrong freaking place. So, pull is not particularly valuable, but it's not unwelcome. Space, however, here. I recall an Intrinsic in the temple. Intrinsic free space opens up Fat Stone as an opportunity again. So, I definitely take that. I definitely take the old magic, or as I'm probably going to call it because of all the inscription I've played, the old data. And yeah, well, I know what I'm doing in the temple. That's an easy call. I'm definitely not taking the -2 now because I have seen true value. And because I have the split anvil, I'm sorry, the improved firebox, plus the split anvil for that matter, I know that I can always play it on turn 1 when I draw it. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about my intrinsic gold data. Permafrost. You know, Cycle of Life's also not a bad idea for permafrost. It allows me to hold the spell until I know I'm ready to play it and not redraw it over and over. Is that more value than a big heal anytime I need it? I'm down to 26 cards, drawing 8 cards per turn. So I draw through my deck every 3 turns, roughly. I have old magic now, though, and I was right about the 20 health. I didn't even look. So I have a medium-sized heal to go with my big heal. So yes, dag. Yeah, I definitely feel that Cycle of Life is a better permafrost. Our situation has changed. So question now is, do I reroll or not? I'm not getting another permafrost. I'm not looking for holdover on anything, I don't think. I don't know, holdover Cycle of Life would not be too bad, but I'm not going to chase a 1 in 3 chance when I can use money to purge a Train Steward. So that's my play. Let's get a +10 magic power. You say what, mate? You say what? Yeah, stick it in the old data. And then let's get rid of that Train Steward. I think we've done everything we're going to do here. So let's move on to the fight. Spikes 4, eh? Spikes 4. The overcharge tank scares me. I have a feeling I may be taking a little pyre damage already. I don't want to add spikes to that pyre damage. I have been pretty... there's more artifacts I want because I'm just that greedy, but I've been pretty blessed with my artifacts so far this run, so I'm not going to take stupid risks. Especially now that the number of truly awesome hits there has gone down greatly, and it's only 1 draw. So statistically speaking, it's very low value. So I have my old magic if I screw this up, which I have to play anyway. Now that I think about it, I didn't need the pull to front, but it's never going to hurt me. And to be perfectly frank, it gives me some options offensively. Yeah, that ain't bad. Wait, do I need to add a space now? No, I haven't found a fat stone, so I can actually make use of the 1 self... I didn't even draw a self ping. It was given to me this turn. That's kind of nuts. Which means I can plug a Glimmer down here and feel okay with it. Good news is I should draw a bunch of self-ping next turn, right? Right? Get rid of you now. I have a 3. I don't have to care. That's focused growth, of course it is. Well, I'm glad now for that, for not getting that permafrost. That's spike 6 for now. And that's fine to play now. So, first things first, we see a single lonely 3, we play single lonely 3. Play out all of our stuff. Here's what I need to do. I need to make some notes while I'm doing these things about old man rants I want to do. And see a 3, play a 3. And make those rants on the times where combat is super slow. Alright, I'm going down to double digits here, so as much as I would like to elevate some dudes up, thank you for not sharding up, Sir Overcharged Tank. And you too, you have been very polite. And you. I don't really feel like elevatoring anybody up. Actually, I don't have kills, I only have hits, but one more hit trigger on you before the overcharge tank. Yeah, overcharge tank shows up. It's actually pretty ace. I should have looked at your extinguish trigger first. That's not cool. That's very unfriendly. But I'd rather that now, when I am due for some health gain coming up, than next round. So all's well that ends okay. In the words of one of my favorite rappers from 8 Mile, so screw you, have a nice day. Both my vengeful shards in one turn, huh? Good news, bad news. They are... Good news is they're not 3s. I only have 1 3 to play in this turn, so I'm playing everything regardless. I'm going up to 6 spike damage. That's going to start robbing me of kills, of hits, definitely. But we're doing 68 by 3. I definitely want to do more, but we'll get more. We'll get there. So, cycle of life. Get rid of my vengeful shards. As always, do the self-pinging first, then do the healing. I can throw the glimmer down without killing anybody. That's good. Some old magic data and some restores. I have 3 3s. I can play 2. And it's probably not hidden passage. So all I gotta do is not play like an idiot and I'll be fine. Ping. Ping. And yes, I see how low we're going, but I have big heals. See? We're fine. We're not perfectly healthy, but in this day and age, who is? You think you're perfectly healthy one day, and then the other you start bleeding out of places that human beings should not bleed from. And that's all the gory details I will speak. See a 3, play a 3. Everything's free. See a shard, play a shard. Ping. Steel Enhancer. Cycle of Life. Ping. Healy, healy, healy. I don't know why I did that. I didn't check the map before I plotted the course. Come on up, Self-Made Harpy. Give me 7 triggers per activation. Nah, Old Magic gets played first. That'll at least, you know, heal up the damage that I just took. I'm going to play my Vengeful Shard. Okay, the road is clear. Let's hit the gas pedal. This is what I get used to. I get used to floors where there are no enemies, and I see Torch, I just click, click, click that A button. And then when enemies show up on the floor, that does not work. I have 2 3s I can play. I technically don't need to play anything out. In fact, I'm not going to, except for Cycle of Life, because it's just really funny to watch Hell Self-Made Harpy rip her face to shred on shreds on thorns. And I don't really need to play anything else because I've got a pretty good gauge of my power at this point, and I'm very pleased with it. Not, you know, 150 plus shards pleased, which I almost never do anyway. I generally use all of my aggression. Ooh, High Awake. Oh yes, you're definitely coming aboard. I wanted you to from the beginning, but I took what I get. And Branding Right, look at you. You are a Cultivate trigger and 20 friggin' armor. So yes, you're definitely taking a seat at the front of my train. In fact, I'm thinking that you take advantage of my hell vents from this point forward. Okay. I want removals, I like money, and I still have 1 spot to fill in the shop. So let's take our money. Let's do our removals. At this point, what are my priority removals? Glimmer is practically a dead weight at this point. So since I have big heals and I'm not ever going to invest in Glimmer, it goes away. Hidden Passage, still moderately useful to us in the early rounds as an offensive means of splitting up parties. Everything in here is useful. What is the least powerful? Is it time? No, it's not. If I'm going to make a removal of the Vengeful Shards, I'm going to do it both at once. Removing 1 honestly doesn't provide me that much value. I want to remove both of them at my next removal event. So, at this point, the weakest card in my deck, outside of these 2, which I'm going to keep around just a little bit longer, is, drumroll please, I believe it is Steel Enhancer. Especially in the context of Volatile Gauge, where it shows up, but it's still probably overcosted. So, yes, Steel Enhancer is number 2. What do we get? Quick, which we do not want. We re-roll. Endless, which we do not want. Now, I see Rage 7 there. On top floor, that's plus 10 damage on my sweeper, which will get me through a bit of the early game. But the question is, okay, I'm definitely going Steel next turn, and that's the last turn. So now is not the time to fill that slot with Rage 7. Not when multi-strike, not when a third multi-strike and a Fat Stone are potential rolls in the next shop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save my money, and I'm gonna do a bunch of purging up in here. So for now, it's Archus. Okay, I'm back. With a promise to stop scrubbing the first floor and start playing bottom. Wait a minute, was my draw different? No, that looks familiar. That's all my healing opening hand, though. That makes me a little sad. So we're gonna hold the cycle of life on permafrost, gain some easy. I keep saying slay triggers because I'm used to my favorite of the two units, the strike triggers, and for that matter, the rejuvenate trigger. Yeah, the revenge triggers. So I wish they were rejuvenate triggers. That would make my life a lot easier, but they're not. So we play the cards we get, not the cards we wish for. All right, old data, focus growth so that I can draw again, so I can draw more, and restore to get regen started. Still not ready for Cycle of Life. I don't want to kill anything on spikes, not yet. And unfortunately, Hidden Passage is going to be dead weight this run. Nothing can be done for it. So I have 2 3s, and that is perfect. Play out all of that. And that's all my pings, so let's play out the rest. Alright, up to 5 regen, looking great. Get two more cultivates, 2 more strike triggers. You're Hellborn Harvest, I assume? Oh, no, you're dazed. I get to ignore you regardless. I really don't care what shard you drop this run. That's going to be refreshing. Okay, I have at least 1 Vengeful Shard I'm not going to play out. So, is it Restore here, or is it Torch? I think it's going to be Restore here. Oh, no, it's not. I don't actually heal anything. I'm taking 33 damage, though. How do am I for a big heal? I just redrew my deck, and I didn't see a single one of them, so what is my least optimal hand? 4 torches and a vine grass, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Honestly, the odds of me not drawing into any of my 3 big heals . So let's actually, no, not with 9 draws with replacement. I'm not going to even attempt that. 9 draws without replacement. I am not even going to attempt that in my head. So, good news is I see what is practically a heal 20 here. So that's good. So, do I have? Oh, these aren't spells. They're not going to count. Never mind. I don't have a 2 spell. Yeah, okay, so we're going to play out the 3 as a torch. We're going to get rid of a Vengeful Shard. Ping. Am I at the point where I want these spikes and that +10 yet? No, I want that next turn. Next turn is optimal for that. So, we're done playing our pings. Branding Right is the new getting played last card. Or is it? It's the last getting played in the ping sequence card. Let's call it that. Very nice. So we can heal a bit, and we're going to save this for next turn. Take our 1 pyre damage, which is super good for me in this this particular series. Yeah, you are the Hellborn Harvest. We will never have to care about you. Alright, we have 3s again. This is definitely one of them. Wait, you're 1. Why did I see 3? Oh, okay. So, 3 torch, 3 torch. How many vine grasp do I got? None. I didn't even draw into any. Well, I drew into that one. How much damage am I allowing myself here? Not much. Like, what? 12? 2, 4. Just 9. Which I will most certainly heal up right now. So, yeah. It's going to be torch. And torch incorporated. Ping, 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 ping. Pingy, pingy, ping, ping, ping. Now is the turn for Cycle of Life. Old magic, good magic. Fresh fish. Focused growth. Awake for the regen. Man, that just looks so violent. And I'm here for it. Oh, well. Look at this sad sack of crap right here. Branding Rite is one of my 3s, so it'll be my last 3. Self-pings. 1, 2. Yeah, I definitely do not need that restore there. I don't need either restores, so my play here is a torch. Making almost everything free except for the other 3s. And Vengeful Shart, which is happening now. Vine Grasp. Torch. Oh, I screwed up. Branding Rite was also a 3. Branding Rite should have been my one and only 3. I miscalculated. It's not a fatal miscalculation, certainly doesn't warrant... Yeah, certainly doesn't warrant a reset. But it's unfortunate nonetheless. I just missed out on a Cultivate trigger and some really good armor. No 3s. Okay. So, we're taking on some 2s. So we have to be super careful here. One of them, let's get it out of the way, is Vengeful Shard. You can be permafrosted. I'm okay with that. And then next, I think it's going to be another torch and old magic. Yeah. I don't know. How much is this going to heal me? No, I have Focused Growth and Awake. I do not... Yeah, Focused Growth is superior to Old Magic at this point, so I don't need it. Nonetheless, how much do I have to heal? Before the self-pings, about 30, yeah. So, our 2/2s, we're going to permafrost you. We're going to cast our free Awake. And our 2s are going to both be torches. Yeah. Now we press the Y button. Now, watch what happens with Cycle of Life if you're unfamiliar with this interaction. Same cost. So if it was like a 3 or something and I played it, it would be re-rolled. That's another reason why Thief's Hand is so valuable with it, because you can just tuck it away and you can just tuck a nasty card away and re-roll its cost. We have a 3. Hallelujah. It's a restore, but beggars, choosers, and volatile gauge users. Ping. Ping. Plinko. And with the interaction with Split Anvil, this is now free. And we play it. Once again, I have a very good feeling about my power level, so what I do here is I play the Vengeful Shard out. I play the Branding Right because it's just too much value, and I screwed up the last one. And we hit the X. We ruin Archus' day, we move on. I apologize for the water. Hey, another cycle of life. You got it, buddy. That's value. We have our floor problems situated. So more pyre health, more ember means that I finally get to purge the 2 Vengeful Shards right now. It's happening right now. That is the very first thing I'm doing. I'm not looking at anything. I'm not letting anything potentially influence this decision. We are now super stable on Ember. We get rid of these. And we coast on the +1 Ember from the dead weights that we simply can't get rid of. Upgrade the champion. As always, we are going cultivating. We can grow our own spikes, thank you. Peek in the temple. I need to take on 80 shards here. I know precisely what I want to intrinsic here. Is there any other bet? No. No. I would love to see you in my opening hand. Love it. And I feel no need to take on Spell Chain in a volatile gauge environment. And I'll just take whatever's in this final temple here. Seems real good. Now, what do we get? We got the Fat Stone. We are good to go. So we don't reroll. We're flush in cash. So do we do a purge here? Let's see. I'm purging 2 here. Let's look at the deck. Purging 2 here. They're going to be hidden passages. Purge a thing here or not. None of you, definitely. Old magic is kind of redundant at this point, but going into Seraph, and especially Divinity, I definitely want that power. Restores are starting to be a little bit less valuable to me, however. So, yeah, what percentage of my deck is heals? What percentage is pings? We got 1, 2, technically, 3, 4. 4 heals, 5 heals, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pings, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm happy to get rid of a restore here. So let's do that. It's expensive. It's an expensive purge, but yeah, it's a good purge target nonetheless. Alright, I've done everything I'm going to do with magic. Let me double check, make sure I do not want Spell Chain. Okay, let us move on. Ah, hello, Devil. Haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, let's talk about this +8. That Pyre Wings, and if I'm not mistaken, Pyre Wings is always the single solo unit on round 1 of this fight. That is going to reach our Pyre. That is going to reach our Pyre and do 12 damage a shot. That scares me. And I really don't like that Ember Drain. But we have Ember for days right now, so and he's only swinging at 2 units. that leaves us with 4 Ember after the Ember Drain. I'm not concerned about him. That first one gets to my pyre, and then he's gonna wreck it. He's gonna treat my pyre like a pinata. So that's a big no. However, here's Steel Wings. 8 on Steel Wings means he actually swings at my front unit, hits into spikes. But that also means that if I don't kill him off, which I will, because I'm going to scale hard, trying to minimize the damage of this guy very early on. That's going to be rough. I can take 7 hits from him, which means that in the unlikely event that I do absolutely no damage to him, I take 4 shots from him times 8. That's 32 damage. That cuts my pyre in half. I'm going to do some damage to him. So I'm going to try my hardest to get him below the 80 threshold by the time he hits me. And that should only hit me for 12 damage. Now, this math does not include if he sharded up. I don't know how that changes anything. And I have to make my decision on that lack of information. But gauging my power bottom floor on the Archus fight, multiplying that by 2, I actually feel strong taking the challenge here. And I would definitely want the money, because I'm visiting the trinket shop for the first and only time this game. And I am just so greedy. And there's so many artifacts that just make everything so beautiful. So we have to play smart. We cannot scrub it. Okay, you got sharded up. So what did you get? You got, it looks like, +2 attack. I don't think you got an HP upgrade. Did you? No, you didn't. That 20 regen is probably a big deal, and so with 17 regen, that changes the math of how much I have to do to you. Good news is my opening hand looks strong, real strong. Order of operations now really matters. Sentient, old magic, alpha fiend. Hidden passage is not going to help me here. It's only going to hurt me. So let's get started on the pinging. I want you now. Opening hand. Ping. Last ping is branding right. And focused growth. Yes. We're going to draw 10 next turn. And we're going to start playing cards again like we remember what Split Anvil is. My 3 is awake. I want regen 3 active. Alright. Hi there. I do not have my Ascend, do I? I do not. How much money are you worth? 100? No. I need as much damage as I can possibly pump into you. So, we're now on Cultivate 3, right? Yeah. So every one of these is, every damage spell I have is huge value for scaling. So, that's exactly what we do. We play like we're not idiots. Good thing Revenge still works with armor. Yeah, I'm going to give up that money because I took on huge risk for 400, and we are going to respect that risk. Okay, I'm not even going to do math here. I'm just going to do everything I can to cultivate as hard as I can. Because that is a triple striker here, and every +3 counts. I see 1-3, I play 1-3. Simple. Slow it down a little bit, make sure every single damage spell goes right into my sentient. How far do we get him? All right, let's play this out and do the math while we're doing it. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to do the math. I should have used my brain instead of trying to use my calculator. Okay. Branding right is R3. Nothing we can do about that. We play it out of sequence. Drew mostly heals this time, but that's fine. I drew my pings exactly when I needed and wanted them. Keep the regen going. I have 2 3s. We play the restore now. And the branding right in sequence. I'm worried about double drawing into all my healing here. But I think it's going to be fine. I'm about to put 200 armor into him. 20 armor into him. This is not the Apex Imp God run from episode... whichever episode... No Champion, No Problem was. Probably 5, if I had to remember. Yeah, order of operations does not matter here, so just play them out. Card draw, regen. Can't beat it. My 3 is a torch. My other 3 is also a torch. It's all good. I have scaled pretty well at this point, I would like to believe. Good old tank and spank. Heal the tank, buff the spank. I have no 3s, so I have to choose my 2s. One is most certainly torch. The others are torches. They do less damage than Vine Grasp, so... I don't need my hidden passages. Branding right is the last in the ping sequence, as always. Oh, it was not last in the ping sequence. Oh well. Like Aperture Science, we do what we must, because we can. My 3 is focused growth. Unfortunate. I see Vine Grasp, and I keep thinking Restore, and that's how I keep missing that. Sad but true. All right. Show me the X that I know I have. Yeah. Check for Scourges. I have none. So, press Y and you die. Do I need another Awake at this point? No, I don't. Do I want one? Yeah. Yes, I do. Inflame. That's interesting. Usually a terrible card in the context of Volatile Gauge, and Split Anvil actually pretty good. Chances are it plays for free most times, and free Rage 4 and Armor 5 Real nice for my backline unit for a little bit of protection against Divinity Sweep, and for that matter, spikes. Yeah, we take in flame here. I think we take in flame when it's good. I think that's kind of a rule, because it usually isn't. Just like I maximize my old magic when I get it, because I usually don't. Do I want Pyro Remains going into this? No, I don't. I absolutely do not. There's way too much value on this side, and I'm mostly confident at this point. Just to see if I can be a little more confident, let's peek at the trinket shop. Nope, that gives me no more confidence. Now, hose water over here. That's an interesting perspective. That eliminates a fair amount of spikes and damage shields and other things I really do not like. Alright, peek in the magic shop. We have a permafrost. Okay. I have a pretty good idea. I know what my next permafrost target is. Let's look at the Divine Temple. And now I know pretty much exactly what my permafrost target is. It's one of these awakes. It's the awake specifically that I make the big heal awake. That way I get to save a big heal for the turn I need it, and I'm gonna need it when I need it. Truism. Okay, this is a known quantity. We know we're taking it. 20 magic power and a consume. Into a restore sounds really good now that I picked up that awake. Now, let's go ahead and solve what we know are the known quantities. Let us remove these hidden passages that are no longer working for us. Come down to 23 cards, go up to 24. As I take another Branding Right intrinsic, because it is just so good with Volatile Gauge, and Split Anvil for that matter. Now, I have plenty of cash, so let's go ahead and take the hose water here. Reroll. Oh man, I would love an Emblem of the Exiles, but I just can't afford it. That is unfortunate. So, Boon of the Blacksmith increases my survivability in case I end up sucking. At this point, I'm at 24 cards. I don't feel the need to purge anymore since I draw through my deck every 2 turns now. Every 3 turns now, I don't know what I'm thinking. So the question is, do I reroll Magic Shop? If I do, what am I looking for? Plus 10? Plus 10, always good. Plus 10 makes bigger heals. We like big heals. And if I get nothing, I can purge another restore. Remove consume, not worth it to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another plus 20 in consume into a restore. And I am simply going to call it there. Yep. All right. Sap Seraph. Not going to lie. She scares me a bit. She scares me more than Divinity does, that's for sure. But I think we're set. Especially once our restores consume. We are scaling so freaking hard. Make absolutely sure, yeah. Wait a minute. I'm fairly certain I can kill all of you. Let's do it. Order of Operations. Sentient. Old Magic. Alpha Hermit. Let's play out the first Branding Right. because it is a 3, and I want to keep remembering that I'm using Split Anvil. Play everything else out in sequence. Okay, we do not have a 3. We have to exercise caution here. I can play 2 2s. That's not a consume restore, it's not a priority. I would love to draw next turn, but I don't think it's in the cards. So my 2 2s... I don't know, that's better than restore. Yeah, cards is better than restore. I don't know what I'm thinking here. So, cards. Ping. And then play the rest out. Ping. Rage. Ping. Regen. Regen. Plus 10 and spikes. Alright. Survey says, do I kill all of you or do you need a little more help? Oh yeah, you all dead. Alright. I can play both my 3s. Go me. Nope, not you. You're cool though. Yep, did it again. Now is not the time for a big heal. Save it. I permafrosted it for a reason. Just a little bit of regen. Yep, see a lonely 3, play a lonely 3. Everybody dead, right? Yeah. I shouldn't have to look at this point. You're good. Heal, heal, last in sequence. Rage and armor. Heal, heal, heal. Okay. Wait, last in sequence first. Play out a bunch of heals, get some regen going. Draw some cards. Perfection. I'm never going to need a big heal if you can't even breach my armor, gentlemen. My first 3 here is Cycle of Life, and I have room for another 3. I saw Vine Grasp, don't let it go. Branding right. Is now the time for a big heal. It's worth 35 and 3 regen right now. I think it is. Let's go. There's a lonely 3 here. We like seeing that. Oh, it wasn't lonely, but we got room for you. Get on the bus. The train. Bus monsters. I think Super Auto Pets already has the bus monsters covered, though. I don't want to retread territory. Yeah, I'm definitely outracing the sap. I was worried over nothing. My 3 is one of my 2 branding rights. Not a big deal. I still have one more branding right. Unfortunately, my self-pings will eat away at this armor. Not much I can do about that. Alright, checking for Vine Grasps. Seeing none. Alright, so it's branding right time. Regen, regen. This is not the permafrosted one, so regen, card draw. Yeah, this this build, this front-loaded optimization is probably one of my best, and I'm proud of it that I haven't really run it before. I came up with it for this alone, so maybe, just maybe, I can admit to myself that I'm getting a lot better. That's a thing I would certainly like to do. All right, everybody else is 0. Let's get to our self-harm here. Ah, Vine Grasp. You almost got away with it. Yeah, next turn's turn for big heal because I didn't get any armor this turn. Or is it? I didn't get hit as hard as I expected. All right, got plenty of 3s in this one. And yeah, they're both going to be torches. Would I love to clear 4 digits of damage every single shot from my Alpha Hermit? I absolutely would. So yeah, let's get to the pings. You are last in sequence. Awake. Focus growth. 320 health. Look at this nonsense. Hit me all you want, but between my armor, between my between my regen, and between my heals, you just can't take me down. Alright, one of my 3s is in flame. Sick, I know, but it fuels my engine. 113 damage coming my way this turn. Oh, because I'm at Seraph. I have the X. What am I even doing? I'm playing Branding Right because the value is super good. I'm playing Awake because I have it. You know what? I'm just playing it out. I'm playing everything in my hand. I was so scared of you. I shouldn't have been. I'm playing a terrible sequence and I don't even care. Just die, Sap Seraph. Wish granted. Alright. Let's send all the drunks home and close this party. Well, let's find all the drunks' rides. Then, let's close the doors and end this party. Odds are low I do enough damage to Divinity before Relentless, but I don't care because Relentless is where we're our best. So, all right. Order of operations: Sentient, Old Data, Alpha Fiend. Units played. Take my Lonely 3. Play it. Optimally, since I had the Ember Despair, I probably shouldn't have done that, so that I could get 40 armor up, but I'm not going to use that much armor, honestly. I may even consider sending some Alpha Hermit's way in the event that he starts getting low from the sweeps. I don't think it's going to happen between the Cultivate, between the Inflame. I think we're good. Let's see, we have 5 Ember. We can only play one of our 3s. They're the exact same card, so it doesn't much matter. You have some armor, have some rage. It's all good. You have some health and spikes. You get grasp. Grasp yourself. You're permafrosted. I definitely want to keep you. I definitely want to consume you. Get some regen and some card draw. We are so good. Now, if I could learn the lessons from the bajillion Rising Dusk videos I've watched and play far less aggressively in the early game, I might actually be good at this game. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, though. All right, I've been looking for my 3, can't find it. I can play 3 2s. It's all good. We just have to play in sequence. Holy crap, that's a lot of healing I got going on right now. I want to play one of my 2s now, make the rest of my stuff free, so let's make that the restore. You're incanting. That is so cute. Oh. You're sweet guys. Overcharged apprentices. I will be a little sad when I break you. Yeah, go ahead. Incant all you want. Do you see my mark my mark of an exile boosted super health pool? As spoken by one of my favorite old school WWF intros, you got no chance. No chance in hell. Yeah, we are scaling so hard. We do not need to worry about protecting him from Divinity at all. We even just taking the hits here, we are coming out HP positive. All right, play my Lonely 3. Oh, you're incanting. That is so cute. I kill you in 2 shots instead of 2. Enjoy the extra pain. Branding right, and now is definitely the time for a big heal. After incanting the bejesus out of those guys while mocking them last turn. Oh, here come the Scourges. Okay. I have 3s. I can't play them all. Branding right. Great value. Good value. You're going to love that value. But I got spikes to contend with. So, what we're going to do is this. We can only play 1/3. So, let's do it now and not scrub it up. Inflame gives me +8 damage immediately that decays. This one gives me +6 that doesn't, but it's also played out of sequence, which is unfortunate, especially since I'm about to take 68. I think I'm fine, though. Actually, no, I'm not. There are 5 waves remaining. That rage is going to decay. So, let's play the out-of-sequence branding right and just be okay with it. We have plenty of healing in this hand. And we honestly don't have much in the way of more self-pings either. So this is actually the end of the cycle of life. And that's branding right. Let's get to big healing. Big spiking. And big regen while we're at it. Yeah. I have no fears about getting to Relentless and then wrecking Divinity in the face. So, it doesn't look like, given what just happened in the bottom here, and what has happened here with this rage and this regen, and you two, that my hose water is actually not doing much of anything at all, is it? So I'm at the point now where I'm almost done with this game. I am killing mini bosses, so I'm willing to let these purges hit my pyre. I'm not willing to let them clog my deck. So let's consider this. We don't have to worry about it this turn because we have a Lonely 3. We like Lonely 3s. Lonely 3 is the best number in this particular combination. Ping, ping, ping. Pingy Plinko. How much does Big Heal get me here? Nothing. We save it. And screw you too, game. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about it because our 3 is Cycle of Life. We can play that right there, lose nothing for it, and keep this from clogging my deck. All right, then. Feel the pain and loving it. Big heal? No. And that is a... I'm not even sure if these guys had anything to hose to begin with, but that's not a wonderful hosing. Alright. Let's see. 3 threes. One of them is a torch. I just accidentally double-clicked the A button because of a arthritis condition I possess. That will let me play the branding sequence in order, but I have to be very careful not to play this fine grasp. Well, let's work our way left. Alright, we've played everything in sequence. We're drawing our cards, we're getting our reach in, and we're keeping our big heal. So we don't need it yet. Hey, I killed you? What? Wow, we scaled that hard? I was not expecting that. We didn't even have to go to Relentless, which is our best time. Somewhat less against a sweeper, but, yeah. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm super glad that this run went as good as it did and the build is as strong as it is. I will see you next time on Monster Train Easy Expert Challenges. I once again don't know when that's going to be because I do have another hospital stay coming. If I have the opportunity, I will get 7B out because that's actually a really fun one. But if I can't, I can't, and I'll do my best, but I will make no promises. I will see you next time, whenever that happens to be.